from the studios in beautiful Oceanport, New Jersey. Welcome to the biggest and greatest podcast ever. I'm your host, Ray K. Hey, everybody. This is one of those real exciting shows. It's a unique show. It's a show that we're going to feature a boy band cover group, which is pretty wild. I never knew there was even a such thing, but they appeared on Good Morning America. They got a new single out that maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. Travis Nesbitt. Travis, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Ray. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for coming on. We met through Jane Alyssa, who was my guest last week. We had a lot of fun. So, a little shout out to...
Oh, my gosh. She's insane.
Yeah. We could have kept it for 5 hours, that thing. We were really...
I'm sure that one can talk. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we were flying. But let's talk about your venture here. I want to talk all about that. How did you, this boy band cover group, how did that, the origins of that? And let's get into that, how that all started.
Yeah, so I grew up in Southern California, and I've always done musical theater, and my mother was a singer, so I was a singer. It was just what I did, and I was always, being a kid of the 90s, I was obsessed with boy bands.
Okay.
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC concerts and everything. And then I went to the Boston Conservatory and got my degree in musical theater, and then moved to New York and kind of did the whole Broadway thing for about 10 years. And probably the biggest, most important thing I did in New York was a show called Altar Boys off Broadway. And Altar Boys was a 90-minute show about a Christian boy band saving the souls of New York through their hip-hop and singing and dancing. And it was a lot of fun. I did it for a really long time. And then, so when I got to the end of that, I was like, I don't know. I was just kind of sick of the whole, back and forth pounding the pavement with the theater world. And I still love theater. I still do theater, but I wanted to create something. And I had all of these boy band friends and this love of boy bands. And so thus the boy band project was born. And basically what we do is we kind of reimagine, recreate all of the hits from the 90s and early 2000s and some current stuff as well. And we turned it into this crazy 90-minute show with, it's kind of like a retrospective, hilarious look at how much fun the 90s and boy bands were. And it's been really great. It's the response has just been overwhelming, and it's just something I kind of did as a passion project and has slowly become, my full-time gig. So there's
you hear about these Beatle bands, the Bruce Springsteen cover group. So you're the cover group for the boy bands. Is that correct?
So NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. And it's funny that you mentioned that because usually when anybody's what people don't know about Broadway is it's great when you're in a Broadway show and you make tons of money then, but what do you do in between? The contracts rarely meet up together. There's always downtime. And so you fill your time doing gigs, and I was always doing stuff like that, like Beatles cover groups and Four Seasons cover groups. And I was like, why is nobody doing NSYNC and Backstreet Boys? That's just such a missed opportunity. And I was on a plane coming home from a vacation in Costa Rica, and I was like, why don't I just do it? And so I made it.
Is there anybody else doing it, or is this the first time it's literally ever been done?
To be honest, I think we were the first. Ever since there have been other things to pop up, but as far as I know, we are the only group that are all Broadway performers that are kind of doing this 90s boy band thing. There are a couple floating around, and we're all super aware of each other. But it doesn't bother me because we've got this really unique spin, and people respond to it so well. So now we just do our thing.
What makes you unique also, it's an all gay band, right? It seems like you're almost promoting that aspect of it.
it's not actually.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not,
Okay.
we're,
Okay.
a lot, I would say probably like 70% of the guys are gay. But we have straight guys in it too. And we, it does lend itself to the gay community just because, it's colorful, it's all boys, we're dancing, there's something inherently sexual about a boy band, and but we do this thing every other Sunday at Green Room 42 in New York City, and it's literally all 30 and 40-year-old women.
Okay.
And they love it as well. And it's like I try not to close off any demographic for the group, and also I don't, there's no reason I'm gonna if a straight guy wants to be in it and they're amazing, they're gonna be in it, and they do really well, and at the end of the day, it's a gig.
Right.
They want to make money.
And you've been on Broadway, correct? You said.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about that experience. Just give me like a 2-minute version of that.
Oh my goodness! It's let's see. I graduated from Boston Conservatory, and I went right into the national tour of the producers, and then I toured around with Hairspray.
Oh wow!
And
big stuff.
What?
Big time stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And then I did Altar Boys in New York, and then I also did the Radio City Christmas Spectacular at Radio City Music Hall, and those are the big ones.
What's the difference between being on stage in Broadway and then being on stage with the with the music, with your boy band group? Is there a difference there? Or is there...
Well, the number one thing is I'm the boss. So
you're the boss of the group. This is your deal. You're the main guy.
This is me.
This is you.
Choreograph, arrange, I hire, I perform in it. I do it all. So yeah, I mean, it's a completely different animal, and with our band is constantly evolving, and we're changing music and changing guys in the cast, and with theater, it's also a living, breathing thing, but it just doesn't allow for as much. It doesn't evolve as much, I guess, and that was the thing that was really hard for me. I just would get in these long runs, and I would get so bored.
Oh, okay. Well, you always hear that even on TV shows, it's not as well as cracked up to be in some ways.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. It is really great. I had some really great moments where I was like, wow, I'm so lucky to be doing this right now. And I was always so fortunate. But then once that stopped for me, I was like, you know what, I got to let somebody else do this because there's something else out there for me to do. So that's kind of what I followed. Yeah.
So you're busy. I mean, if this is your gig and you're doing everything, you must be like 24/7. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. But, it doesn't feel like work because I love it so much.
Right.
And
what's a typical day? Give me if there's ever such thing as a typical day. When you wake up in the morning, like what's a day like? Just run through a day. All right. Travis wakes up in the morning. All right. What happens?
Well, okay. So it depends, like, if there's a gig. If there's a gig...
There's a gig. Let's do that.
There's a gig at night or something. I usually wake up, I have coffee, go to the gym, check my emails, answer... my thing is I answer an email right away because that's how these bookers find out that you're hungry and you're ready. Mm-hmm. They're looking to fill their spot right now. They're looking to essentially solve a solution. They need a solution. They have a spot in their theater, and if you can solve their problem right then and there and give them the information they need right now, you'd be amazing how they respond. So I answer all my emails right away. If we've got, I'll usually, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe I'll go to like an acupuncture appointment or, yoga or something just to get, a little centered before the show. I start texting the boys, making sure they're all ready. Then I have this big boy band storage locker, and I select the costumes for the evening. And I put it in our bag. And then if if it's an out of town gig, I've either rented a car, or we've got plane tickets, and then constantly making sure that the boys have all the information that they need. Because I find it really important to, kind of almost like preempt the problems that are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as far as like, how are they going to get to the airport? Let me answer that question before they even think about it.
So it's trial and error, I'm sure, right? Throughout this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're performers. They're showing up and just doing their job. I do everything else, so I have to make sure that it gets done. And then we do the show. We get there. We do sound check. You deal with, you never know what you're going to step into with some of these theaters. Sometimes they know exactly what they're doing, and sometimes they have no clue. The other day we were at a gig.
Interesting.
And I showed up, and this guy was chomping on a donut, and I explained what we needed from him, and then he was like, "Oh, you're going to have to say that all again." And I was like, "Okay." Explained it again, did a show, and
well, I hope the donut tasted good anyway, right? I mean, hope you enjoyed it.
I know, right? No, actually,
I'm
that
joking,
particular gig, he ended up being great, which I was shocked.
Okay.
Like, the sound was awesome. So my bad for dissing his donut eating, but
we're having fun, right? That's all part of the thing,
It's all about fun, and that's the important part of our show too. Is that I just want to make sure that the guys are having fun. The audience needs to walk out of there, having forgotten their problems for 90 minutes and, maybe remembering a simpler, happier time and then going home and buying our new single.
Right, okay. Who was your, was it NSYNC? Who was your favorite group? I mean, in the 90s, who did you like? Who was the one? Was there one that you really liked?
I liked them all.
Okay.
I liked them all, but Backstreet Boys was really my main.
Okay.
Yeah, my main one.
Boyzone. Did you know them? Boyzone. Ever hear of them?
Of course. Yeah.
They were from Ireland. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to go there a lot back then, and they were like huge back then. There, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've actually performed in the UK a lot, and they're always like, "Why don't you do that?" La la la. And we're like, "Okay, bring us back, and we'll do it." No, we. We'll
so Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys was number one. Those were the guys.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But NSYNC is a close second. I mean, I have all those albums completely memorized.
Now, when did you, to segue into this, then we'll come back to, to that again. When did you come out, to be gay? I mean, tell me about that process. I don't want to talk too long about it, but, it is part of you. So let me hear that.
Yeah. So I was 19. I had just graduated from high school, and I kind of knew in high school, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to make any waves at the end of senior year. It's just like,
was it hard? Is it hard to do that, to kind of not being able to, or not, was that difficult because you're not sort of yourself, I guess, in a way, because you don't want to tell people, but you are? I mean.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking, once you I guess I always knew some part of me that it was like that, and
like even when you were 5, for example, you just kind of had this
totally
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm. And then when I was in middle school and all my friends were into girls, I was like, what the heck is wrong with me? And then I remember the day that I discovered it for myself. I was like, oh my goodness, there's nothing wrong with me. And it was like an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to college, I went to music school, and then it was just so accepted that, I had a great time. I was very lucky.
So it was easy. It was easy then, because you were sort of in that kind of environment, it sounds, and then you just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any pushback from parents or from some friends, or I guess there must have been some pushback from somewhere, or did you not even care?
I think there was no pushback. I think the pushback was me, because I had to change my definition of myself, and so it took a long time for me to come out to everybody, just because. You have such a fond memory of people and the experiences you've had with them that you don't want this to change it, even though it doesn't. And it's amazing that once I finally, was out with it and told it, each individual person, it was just, nothing changed. In fact, it was better because we could be closer.
Mm-hmm. So coming out, actually, like with a lot of people that go through rough times, a lot of people are afraid to tell people. But when you tell people, even no matter what it is, it seems like people rally to you, or it's even better.
Yeah, and like I was fortunate. I know a lot of people don't have that experience, but because I mean there are pockets of the country where it's not like people do turn their back. And
so you experienced that some kind of, I guess I don't know if it's called discrimination, or you get that at times. Oh, I don't want to be near you, or whatever it is.
Totally, yeah, it's out there. I was, I mean, living in New York. I mean, I live in the West Village. I literally live 3 blocks from Stonewall. So I definitely live in a bubble. So I don't experience that on a daily basis. I mean, I think everybody has seen it in their life, but. I've been very lucky that I have just been myself, and I've always been that way.
And what do you do if someone is aggressive against you? I mean, do you just kind of ignore it? Like what do you do? Just walk away, as they say, or?
I was actually on the subway the other day, and I was with a guy from my group, and we were just like, we're really good friends, and we were deep in conversation. And I guess we were gesturing maybe a little bit more flamboyantly. I don't know. That was his word, not mine. And then some guy starts yelling at us. He's like, you know what? You guys are so annoying. I can't believe you're really ruining my subway ride, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to yell at him, but I knew that starting that conversation with this person was not going to solve anything. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to teach him a lesson, because he's already angry. So if I stoop to his level, so I think I just said something like smart and sassy and got a couple chuckles in the subway. And I think the best way that I can deal with a situation like that is it sounds cliche, but just to rise above it. Like, prove that I'm smarter, be an example, and not fall for take his bait, I guess.
Okay.
And maybe that'll hit him on the way home. Maybe it won't. But if I was to start yelling at him and start a scene and become a viral video, I doubt that would get through to him.
Right, then he becomes powerful then. Oh, look, I made this guy react. That now there's no power to him. He's just,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we basically I said something like sassier. I was like, I mean, I think I said well, you could go sit 2 seats down or something, man. And then we continued our conversation like it didn't happen. But
right, okay, okay. And those are rare, I guess, right? I hope that's not often.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But I live in a bubble, so I know people that deal with that all the time.
Oh, okay. So, are you out of New York most of the time, Travis? Is that your base, I guess?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my home base.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you, by the way? You look young. I'm 25.
I'm 35.
Wow.
Actually. I know.
I saw some TV shows. I thought it was recent, and just, you got good genetics, I guess. I mean, you could go for 25. Yeah.
Thank you. I try to keep up with it. I was blessed with, I guess a young-looking face, maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Yeah. Now, you guys came out with a single, and I thought it was kind of cute. It's sort of like a play off. As I was reading your website, "Let's Get Physical." I guess that's the Olivia Newton-John song.
Yeah.
Get Behind Love.
Get Behind My Love.
Get Behind My Love. Tell me about that song and how that came to be. Because that's your first single, right? Your first national song. Okay.
Yeah, so we started doing this residency at Green Room 42, and a composer randomly came to our show and came up to me after. And I had thought about doing original content, but ultimately I thought we were just going to be a cover group. And he was like, "Hey, I've got this song that I wrote for a TV show that never got aired. Would you like to hear it and possibly sing it?" And he played it for me, and it was really, really, really catchy. And so I bought it, and then we recorded it, and we've got a residency in P-Town at the end of August, and so I got the owner of the theater, who also owns the gym there, to let us use the gym for the video. And I was like, well, P-Town's kind of like it's a super gay-friendly place. And I was like, why don't we do this almost like homoerotic, let's get physical video where we take a drag queen and we get her in shape, and then we send her on her way, and she's ready for the summer. And so yeah, the stars just kind of aligned. I got a really great director for it, and then we premiered it on Memorial Day, and the response has been incredible. I mean, we got 10,000 views on YouTube in a week, and yeah, people are loving it.
Is that something that might go on MTV or something, or?
Well, it's funny you say that. Well, Out TV just picked it up to play for their morning video rotation in Europe. So I'm trying to get something like that in New York. I know Logo doesn't really do. I don't think they do music videos anymore, but yeah, it's playing at all the bars in New York City. It's playing in Provincetown. Yeah, it's kind of like a little cross promotion for the gym, for our shows, for the single, for this drag queen, Thirsty Burlington, who's hilarious, and she does a show.
Okay, so a lot of stuff comes out of that one video, all different directions,
Yeah, we're open to it all.
The is that sort of the goal, Travis, to eventually have more singles? I mean, you're doing the cover band thing, the boy band thing project. Is it something you want to do? Come up with more original singles. It seems like that's how you can really hit it big. Like One Direction.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we're kind of we're trying to create our own little genre here of it's we're half parody, half original boy band, half cover group, and so we like to keep it fun and light. But yeah, after the single came and it had such good response, we've already got the composer's already working on two new songs for us. We've got a Christmas song coming up, yeah, I think as we evolve, I think it would be nice to at least have 50% original content, and then still do our covers and stuff, and just I think that's a really good place for us to evolve to.
It almost sounds like the Monkey, like that '60s TV show, The Monkees, where they were like the Beatles type, play off the Beatles, and then they started their own songs, and they became big.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, check them.
Is that true?
The Monkees, yeah. One of the guys, Peter Torch, just died. They were huge in the '60s, and they were the Beatles were big. Then they came out and they did all the goofy Beatles stuff, that pop type music, and they were like a fake Beatles, and then they started actually doing their own songs, and they became one of the top 5 groups in the world, in the mid '60s. Check them out. It sounds like, you could kind of see that happening. It was
totally
ironic, or funnier. Cool. To be able to do that. Where are some places you're playing? Are you guys worldwide too? You mentioned England, I think, but you're playing local too, right? You got some pretty cool local gigs coming up. Can you talk about those? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're at the Avenel Performing Arts Center in July for 3 days, 4 performances in 3 days.
Okay.
I believe that date is the 19th, and 20th of July. And then we're in Provincetown, Massachusetts from August 15th to August 25th. And then where else are we going? We're going to Wheeling, West Virginia on August 9th. And then every other Sunday in New York City at the Yotel, which is on 42nd and 10th Avenue, we do a thing called Boy Band Brunch, and basically it's a chance to see our show really, really affordably. You can get tickets as low as $20, and there's no minimum for the restaurant, because it's also a restaurant, but you can order brunch and booze and mimosas, and we do a 50-minute version of our show, and it's a lot of fun. And it started out as a one-off, and we are now open-ended at least till the end of the year. So it's been a blast.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll talk about a little later on how to find out about this with websites and how to buy the tickets and stuff. But I like to do my hit and miss now, Travis, which is my word association. So you ready? Ready for this?
Yeah.
I really get to reveal my guests on this. So what is your favorite color?
Favorite color is blue.
Okay. And if you were on a deserted island and you could only bring 2 music downloads, I used to call them CDs in my day. What 2 music downloads would you bring? What types of music? You're going for 5 years on this deserted island.
Oh my gosh. So like 2 CDs?
Yeah.
So like Backstreet Boys Millennium and NSYNC Celebrity.
Oh, okay. You're staying with the boy band thing for both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. Yeah. If you were in a foxhole, other than any family members, who would you bring in the foxhole with you?
My dog Kyoko.
Oh, what kind of dog is it?
She's a mutt, but she's a rescue from Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. So she's like they call them she's an island dog, but they call them a pot cake dog.
Okay.
And she's a mutt, but she's really adorable.
I had a show actually with someone that talks about rescue dogs, and he said I thought they might have some. Yeah, because the conditions aren't good, when you get them. But he said, actually, he goes, when the dog sees you for the first time, it seems like they just know something good's about to happen to their lives.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he said they're as good as any dog. I mean, it's not, because I said, well, they got those past traumas. He goes, just like any dog, 95% are great. But in any dog, there's going to be that 5% that may not have the great personality. But most rescue dogs are just fantastic. True?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
She's the best, most well-behaved dog I've ever had. It's the first time I've ever had like a non-purebred dog, and she's incredible. Yeah, she's great.
Okay. It's great to hear that. Favorite movie?
Ooh, favorite movie of all time.
Your favorite movie?
Probably like Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, why'd you like that?
It came out when I was in 5th grade, and it's one of those movies that I can just watch.
Whenever it's on, you watch it, no matter what. If it's late, okay,
100%.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a lot of movies, but like you said, favorite movie, that was the first one that came out.
Well, give me one more. I'm just curious now. You got a lot. Give me 2.
The Devil Wears Prada.
Ah, okay, yeah. I enjoyed both of those myself. Meryl Streep, right? She was in that.
Meryl Streep. She can do no wrong.
Well, I kind of segued, not on purpose, to my next question. Was your favorite actor or actress?
Meryl Streep, hands down.
Ah, okay. She's the real deal. It sounds. Everyone says that she's usually the top 2.
Really?
Yeah. All right, Village People. What do you think when you hear that?
What do I think?
Yeah, first word that comes to your mind.
American Indian.
Okay, I thought of them when I first was talking about your thing because they were sort of like the gay, YMCA and all that, So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess apparently they're still out there somewhere. They've got to be so old, but good for them.
Yeah, you're right. What was your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration was probably my mother growing up. She's a pianist, a musician, and she just really, really inspired me to always go for it. There was never a doubt.
Oh,
ever.
Okay. Well, who's the most famous person you ever met?
Oh my goodness! I actually did meet Meryl Streep.
You did? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta tell me about that.
Opening night party. It was really quick, and I was so nervous.
Right, and she probably picked that up, right?
Yeah, I was just like, "Oh my gosh, you're great." Shook my hand, and then I walked away.
Okay.
I had to. But I actually had a friend of a friend who's. I have a friend who's good friends with her daughter, and so that's how I was able to.
Okay. How does she look in person?
I mean, I love her. But she does look.
Older?
Looks her age, sure.
Yeah. Because she's got to be around 60 now, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Good for her. And I also love that she's kind of her acting career has evolved into her age. You know, so many actresses are trying to, you know, stop the aging process, but she's like, you know what? I'm just going to play moms and grandmas now, and she's going for it. So good for her.
Yeah. All right, Ocean.
Ocean.
Yep.
So what do I think of when you say that?
Yep.
Ocean. I think of Laguna Beach.
Okay. What do you like better, New York or California? You grew up in California. Like, is there
New York?
You like New York?
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Now this is the tough one. That's my mother call. I'm only joking. Let me get to you. I gotta pick it up and hang it up. All right. If you had one wish, Travis, in the whole world, and I'm a genie, I'm going to make your wish come true tomorrow. What would your wish be?
What would my wish be? Oh man, what a hard one. I would want.
This isn't supposed to be easy, by the way.
This is supposed to be easy?
It's not supposed to be easy.
Oh, okay. I mean, it sounds so basic, but I guess I just want to, like, you know, I'm really happy right now. I want things to stay the same. You know, I guess that's not possible, but
just freeze frame it right now. This is how, if it could just be like this the rest of the way through.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I know it's not possible, but maybe if I had a genie, it would be.
It would be, because it could be at least until you die. You know, I mean,
yeah, right.
You know. All right, one more. I just thought of this one. I want to ask this on my hit and miss. If you had to meet one person tomorrow, ever, in arts or music or anybody, who would that one person be?
Hillary Clinton.
Oh, okay. Why Hillary? I mean, I know she's very accomplished and all that stuff.
I just admire. I don't know. I admire her strength, and I would love to, like, just talk about everything that, you know, has happened, and like how does she have that stamina? You know, it's really amazing.
Right, and that's very possible to do because she's still around. You know, I mean,
yeah,
that's not pie in the sky stuff. You know, being in New York there. Now, Travis, how do people find out about your shows, or, you know, how do people buy tickets to these upcoming shows? You know, tell us about that. Then we'll wrap it up.
So all of our shows are on our schedule on theboybandproject.com. If you go to the part that says events, it's all listed right there. You can also go to our Instagram. It's at Boy Band Project. Everything is there too. And you could also go to greenroom42.com. They have all of the Boy Band Brunch schedule. And, that's probably the best way to keep up with us, is those three things. Wow.
Okay. Hey, I got a feeling you guys have a shot at being huge. You know, I mean, this is exciting for me to hear all this.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I thought of One Direction for some reason, because you guys kind of look like them a little bit, you know, and I met one of those guys before they were big at Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
You're waiting in the airport. And it just hit my mind. So I could picture the kind of that, you know, this breakout, unique thing you guys are doing, you know, hitting out. What's the one thing you love about this above anything else? Is there one particular thing that you get such a charge out of on this whole project, this whole thing?
Yeah, it's just hanging out with these boys in the group. You know, they're so much fun, and we have so much fun together, and we really try to, like, touch people and, you know, connect with the audience and connect with each other, and that connection is just, you know, it's hard to describe, because it's, you know, I've created almost like a fraternity of guys that are in this group, and we have so much fun together. I love it.
Wow, that seems to be what life should be all about, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Totally.
I really appreciate you coming out and spending your time on this. This has been fantastic. I'm gonna have to get to a show, because I was never into the boy band thing, but now you got me curious. I mean, I want
Totally. Let me know. I'll hook you up with tickets.
Okay, I will. I'll get you. Now I got your number and everything. Travis, once again, appreciate you coming out. That was great. I'd like to have you out again another time. Maybe at the end, this summer on your next big tour or whatever. Maybe when your next single hits. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay, cool. That was Travis Nesbitt. I am Ray K. Catch you next time.